Once, long before he became known as the Buddha, Prince Siddhartha lived in a palace filled with luxury. He was sheltered from the outside world by his father, King Suddhodana, who wanted his son to become a great ruler. From birth, Siddhartha was surrounded by pleasure, wealth, and the finest comforts the kingdom could offer. He never experienced sickness, aging, or death, as his father carefully ensured that these harsh realities of life remained hidden from him. As Siddhartha grew older, his curiosity about the world outside the palace walls deepened. One day, he convinced his charioteer, Channa, to take him outside. This would become a turning point in his life. On his first trip, Siddhartha saw an old man. His skin was wrinkled, his back was hunched, and he could barely walk. "What is that?" Siddhartha asked. Channa explained that aging comes to all people. This disturbed Siddhartha, for he had never before seen anyone grow old. On another trip, Siddhartha encountered a sick man writhing in pain. "What is wrong with him?" Siddhartha asked, and Channa told him that sickness is an inevitable part of life. Siddhartha was shocked to learn that no matter how much wealth or pleasure one had, sickness could strike at any moment. On a third journey, Siddhartha saw a dead body being carried to a funeral pyre. He asked, "Why is he not moving?" Channa replied, "That man is dead, and all people eventually face death." This revelation shattered Siddhartha's worldview. He realized that his luxurious life could not shield him from the inevitable sufferings of life: aging, sickness, and death. These realizations became known as the Four Sights. Disturbed and restless, Siddhartha began questioning the meaning of life. How could one live peacefully knowing that suffering was unavoidable? Despite his wealth and comfort, he felt a deep emptiness and sought answers. He understood that the pleasure of the palace was temporary, but suffering seemed to be a constant reality. Determined to find a solution, Siddhartha made the bold decision to leave his home, his wife, and his newborn son, Rahula, in search of truth. This moment is known as the Great Renunciation. Siddhartha wandered through forests and towns, seeking wisdom from great teachers. He practiced severe asceticism, thinking that self-denial and extreme discipline might lead to enlightenment. He fasted for days, nearly starving himself, and practiced intense meditation, but found no answers. After years of this, he realized that neither indulgence nor extreme asceticism could bring him the peace he sought. This led him to discover what would become one of the core teachings of his philosophy: the middle way, a path of moderation between the extremes of self-indulgence and self-mortification. Siddhartha eventually sat under a large fig tree, later known as the Bodhi tree, in the town of Bodh Gaya, vowing not to rise until he had discovered the truth of human existence. For 49 days, he meditated deeply, battling inner demons and temptations. On the 49th day, as the morning star rose in the sky, Siddhartha attained enlightenment. He became the Buddha, the awakened one, having realized the Four Noble Truths: that suffering exists, that it has a cause, that it can be ended, and that the way to end it is through the Noble Eightfold Path. Buddha understood that all beings are trapped in a cycle of birth, death, and rebirth known as samsara, bound by ignorance and desire. He spent the rest of his life teaching others the path to liberation, guiding them away from suffering and toward nirvana, a state of ultimate peace and freedom from desire. The life-changing moment in Siddhartha's journey was when he understood that suffering is an intrinsic part of life, but it can be overcome through wisdom, ethical living, and mindfulness. This revelation not only transformed Siddhartha's life, but also became the foundation of a philosophy that would change the lives of millions around the world.